It's not my girl. All right. Let's get into it. Billie Jean, not my girl. How's everybody doing? I think I fucked my shoulder up last night. Good morning and welcome everybody to the Crypto Mining Show, your one-stop shop for all cryptocurrency news from the perspective of a cryptocurrency miner. I go by Blind Run on the internet and Matthew in real life. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the market recovery and what I think about it. Is it going to recover more? Is it going to start going into a bull market? Are the bulls back in town? Well, I don't know about that. But Ethereum Name Service is seeing a spike in domain registrations. We have GameStop CFO departing amid cut-costing drive, and there's a pivot to Web3. We just talked about Web3 with GameStop yesterday. Tomorrow. We talked about it tomorrow. Hey. Foreshadowing for content there. But no, yeah, I mean, essentially, it's kind of crazy that there was all this kind of hype surrounding GameStop, and then now the CFO leaves and they're changing their Web3 strategy. We're going to be talking about WhatToMine cutting 15% of its staff. Of course, that's amid their non-payment of and shutdown of one of their facilities. Crypto mining stocks bounce amid the Bitcoin recovery, so that's part of the recovery as well. And then we're going to be talking a little bit about the Kucoin CEO suing Celsius, and then Tether disclosing their Celsius loan liquidation process. So Tether's getting out of Celsius. Kucoin suing Celsius. There's still a little FUD surrounding the market with all of this fanciness. Let me move this chair over here. Just throw that right there. Look at that. Superman. What's your favorite superhero? Let's get into it right after a word from today's sponsor, and go ahead and type in your favorite superhero while we do that. Today's sponsor is Crypto.com. Crypto.com is my go-to centralized exchange for liquidating my crypto assets. With their Crypto.com Visa debit card, I can load up my mined Ethereum to pay for power and other operating costs quickly while earning up to 8% cash back. In addition to the Visa debit card, there are additional fiat options, including wire transfers, to easily receive your profits. Crypto.com also offers additional services, including trading and even staking, to earn additional revenue on your investments. Join 10 million plus users buying and selling 100 plus cryptocurrencies at true cost by using my affiliate link in the description for a $25 funding bonus. Or enter referral code SOAT at sign up for the same bonus. Remember, cryptocurrency investment comes with significant risks, so do your own research. Welcome back, everybody. So the cryptocurrency market recovered to its $1 trillion total market cap yesterday and then bounced back down. You can see it on CoinGecko here. We hit over that 1 trillion mark. Let's see. What was that? 20. Yeah. July 7th, yesterday. And then today it's come back down. So, all right. As the question goes, always, do you expect the market to recover? Hey, Blind Run. Hey, son of a tech. Is the market recovering? Are we going back into a bull run? Is it going to be a bull market again? Here's how I look at it. I will not let myself be tricked into any more of this stuff. All right. The same cyclical nature of the halving determines that we wouldn't see a recovery of the market from a bull run perspective until 2024 at the earliest, more likely 2025. So from that perspective, as far as all this goes, it's a nice recovery. But at the end of the day, if we're looking at prices of Bitcoin right now, which is around 21,761, it's right where I would expect it to be. And these little bumps up and the little bumps down to, even down to 18,000, between 18,000 and 22,000 is where I expect the market to stay. Obviously, this isn't financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. This could completely change, and everything could be blown out of the water because of, basically anything else changing within the world that we live in. And these days, everything is absolutely insane. So from expectation standpoint, I kind of am at the point of saying, hey, we're not really going to go up until 2024 at the earliest during the next halving, 2025, that kind of timeline. And potentially, I'll throw my predictions out there now so that we can just get over this and you guys will be aware of it. I would expect Bitcoin to go up to $210,000 in 2025, 2026 time setting. And then in 2027, 2028 timeline, I would expect it to come back down to like the 70K to 60K mark, somewhere in between there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking as far as the future of Bitcoin and its price. And obviously not financial advice. I would still recommend just basically dollar cost averaging all of your purchases, including when you're purchasing equipment. Okay, that's kind of where I'm at. Now, let's get into the crypto mining stocks bouncing amid the Bitcoin recovery, though. Investors are likely feeling comfortable as Bitcoin has stabilized over the past few days. Crypto miners' share prices were up 9.6% between Wednesday and Thursday as Bitcoin showed signs of steady recovery, breaking over the $21,000 mark. Investors were likely uncertain as to how listed miners would react to the bear market, but feel more confident seeing the price of the world's largest cryptocurrency by market cap stabilize, explained Mellerud, a researcher at Oslo-based Arcane Research. DigiHost, TerraWolf, and Marathon Digital led the pack with 26.6%, 18.9%, and 17.62% increases, respectively, from Wednesday's open to Thursday's close. TerraWolf's run came as the company announced on July 5th that it had added $50 million to a $123 million loan signed with Wilmington Trust to continue its growth. I'm going to point this out, as I always pointed out, and obviously not financial advice once again, but if you are invested in a cryptocurrency mining company from a stock perspective, I don't consider that to be a wise investment because, yes, their stock is up, but what is it up in relation to? It's literally up in relation to Bitcoin. The same amount that Bitcoin went up, the same amount that the successful mining companies go up. The only thing that you have here as far as potential, if you are purchasing stock options in any of these mining companies, is the potential for them to go completely under due to poor fund management. As we've seen, a lot of miners are selling off equipment and selling off way too much Bitcoin now. And that is pretty much why you would want to stay into just essentially buying Bitcoin at the end of the day. Is this similar price discovery problem, or, as far as it going up or down, you get the same reward as far as the worth of the actual investment, but you avoid that really bad downside of the company taking a dump. This isn't dissimilar to, purchasing, essentially, I just went crazy. Woo, we're tired today. This is the idea, though, is that all you end up doing is adding in extra key points of failure when you are purchasing actual stocks, right? So that's why I kind of stay away from it personally. As you can see here, though, these are all the numbers to date and their percentage changes. We did have some going up even further, like Marathon Digital, so a little bit more in price, and DigiHost here. But for the by and large, all you really see is an increase in price following the increase in price of Bitcoin. Quote, it's possible some people are making the bet, end quote, that if Bitcoin isn't declining to 18,000, then this may be an attractive time to start accumulating some of the miners. And I think that's true. which are still profitable, said Joseph Vafi. And I think you should be acquiring, actual miners, not your power, not your miner. I think that that is the path you should take, not actual mining company shares, right? So he's the managing director of equities research at investment bank Canaccord Genuity. I need to take my alpha brain or something, which covers Argo blockchain, Iris Energy, and Hut 8 mining. At the same time, many miners are still growing their exahash pretty nicely this year, he said. Investment bank D.A. Davidson last week slashed its expectation for computing power growth for the rest of the year to include only current funded orders, as per a note from a senior research analyst, Christopher Brendler. However, that still represents a 37% hash rate increase for the last 3 quarters of 2022 for the 5 miners that Brendler analyzed: Argo blockchain, Hut 8 mining, Core Scientific, and Riot blockchain. At the same time, the difficulty of mining Bitcoin has decreased by about 6.7% since May 22nd, as miners unplugged unprofitable machines, according to data from information platform blockchain.com. This makes it easier for the miners left standing to mine Bitcoin and bring in revenue. Quote, many of these stocks are very undervalued compared to their asset and cash flows, end quote, Mellerud said. D.A. Davidson said in last week's note that the risk to reward ratio of miner stocks is better than markets have priced in. I just don't agree. Like, your risk to reward is better on just purchasing Bitcoin. Obviously, like on the mining channel, I think that revenue trumps just buying Bitcoin, because if you are just holding Bitcoin and you're at a lower income level or even middle class, most people are living paycheck to paycheck. And if you have an emergency, you're going to have to pull your investment out. So finding ways to generate revenue is basically king at this point. So that's where I'm at. The 15 publicly listed miners CoinDesk analyzed have lost an average of 61.37% of their stock value in the past 2 months. Quote, these stocks are just moving a little bit with Bitcoin coming off of a bottom, honestly, Vafi said, adding that the stock market has also firmed up over the last few days. Many are facing margin calls on debt as the price of their collateral, most Bitcoin and mining rigs, has decreased. So they are selling off Bitcoin holdings to continue paying their bills. Vafi is, quote, not particularly concerned that leverage becomes a large issue, end quote, because miners are still profitable, so they can keep servicing their loan installments. They can also continue selling Bitcoin, he said. One possible negative aspect is that their growth will be constrained if they have trouble raising more capital. And obviously, like we've been talking about for a while now, the largest issue that we see with this particular situation that we're in overall in the cryptocurrency market for a mining perspective is the capital problem, which is having enough capital to basically capitalize on the low price of equipment that we're starting to see. And if you can, have yourself in a good cash position to be investing in equipment during this time, that would be ideal, right? At least my perspective at this point, which is why I wish I had some more capital ready to go. That being said, we still have some craziness within the market, all surrounding, of course, CeFi, which is, for the uninitiated, centralized, decentralized finance, meaning you have some sort of centralized entity that takes a customer's cryptocurrency and then they invest it into DeFi for you, and in a return pay you a high APY, and they have been collapsing left and right. Everything from Three Arrows Capital to Celsius, which is what we're talking about today. KeFi CEO behind OXB1 Twitter account sues Celsius for Ponzi scheme. The self-doxed DeFi entrepreneur Jason Stone alleges that Celsius used customer funds to manipulate the markets. I mean, isn't that how they get the high percentage return? Is this surprising at all? Not really. DeFi entrepreneur Jason Stone, one of the individuals behind yield farming account OXB1 and CEO of KeyFi Incorporated, is suing crypto lending platform Celsius for allegedly refusing to honor its contract. Stone is seeking damages for an amount, quote, to be determined at trial, end quote. In the lawsuit filed in New York on Thursday, KeyFi alleges Celsius used customer funds to manipulate crypto asset markets and had failed to institute basic accounting controls which endangered those same deposits, and had failed to carry through on promises. I mean, if you're going to shut down withdrawals, which is what Celsius did, that by definition to me is manipulating the market, right? They shut down with the withdrawals. There's only 15% of the CEL token within circulation within DeFi outside of their platform, and therefore, of course, increasing the demand for that particular token, and that corresponds to an increase in price, and that would be market manipulation, in my humble opinion. In a lengthy Twitter thread, Stone said the DeFi account OXB1 was managing nearly $2 billion in assets for Celsius at one point, and that Celsius assured him that it was taking adequate risk management measures, such as hedging any potential impermanent loss from our activities in liquidity pools. In simple terms, impermanent loss occurs when the price of tokens deposited into a liquidity pool changes compared to the price at which they were deposited. This can lead to a loss of value if traders withdraw in the interim. Though decentralized exchange fees paid out to liquidity providers can mitigate losses. But Celsius' promises were empty, according to Stone. In late February of 2021, we discovered Celsius had lied to us, Stone wrote. They had not been hedging our activities, nor had they been hedging the fluctuations in crypto asset prices. The entire company's portfolio had naked exposure to the market. Per the lawsuit, Stone also learned that Celsius' alleged lack of proper accounting led to a reported $200 million liability that Celsius did not even understand how or why it owed. A few weeks later, in March of 2021, Stone and the team behind OXB1 decided to cut ties with Celsius. But during that departure process, Celsius reportedly suffered impermanent loss. Stone told Decrypt via Telegram message that this unwinding process of the KeyFi and Celsius relationship has no correlation with Celsius' subsequent impermanent loss that followed. Impermanent loss is a function of being in liquidity pools, he told Decrypt. The exposure needs to be managed. Stone wrote on Twitter that Celsius reportedly owes KeyFi a significant sum of money, and he has been trying to resolve the issue for over a year. Celsius has refused to acknowledge the truth of their failures in risk management and accounting. Stone wrote, adding that he is taking legal action against the firm in an effort to settle this issue once and for all. Surprisingly, the lawsuit states that Stone and KeyFi operated without any formal written agreement, despite KeyFi reportedly generating hundreds of millions of dollars for Celsius and its customers. According to the lawsuit, the recent revelation that Celsius does not have the assets on hand to meet its withdrawal obligations shows that defendants were, in fact, operating a Ponzi scheme. Quote, as customers sought to withdraw their Ether deposits, Celsius was forced to buy Ether in the open market at historically high prices, suffering heavy losses, end quote, the suit explains. Faced with a liquidity crisis, Celsius began to offer double-digit interest rates in order to lure new depositors, whose funds were used to repay earlier depositors and creditors. KeyFi's legal filing comes just a few weeks after Celsius reportedly hired advisors to help prevent a potential bankruptcy following news that Celsius suspended withdrawals on June 13th for all its customers. Decrypt has not independently verified the lawsuit claims, and Celsius has not responded to Decrypt's request for comment. At the end of the day, when we talk about CeFi, and when we talk about crypto in general, we have to maintain principles to maintain protection of our own assets and investments. And one of those within cryptocurrency that still seems to remain true is it centralized or is it not? And if even one piece of the project is centralized, you may want to question whether or not you should be invested within that project. Celsius is just another example of many that have basically ended up, destroying lives at the end of the day with their high unrealistic APY to lure you in, and then shutting off withdrawals and preventing you from basically recovering any of your potential losses. You also have this here. It's the basically Supreme Court of the state of New York, the plaintiff Celsius Network and Celsius KeyFi Limited or LLC here. This is the suit that is in place. So here's where you're at as far as all of this is concerned. We kind of covered the whole basis of it, but here's the official document. It's linked down below if you guys want to go into it in particular, into the particulars surrounding it. So it's kind of where we're at, and we have more Celsius news. Tether discloses Celsius loan liquidation process, and this is coming from the Tether blog, so that I guess it's on point. Tether has never and will never put the integrity of its reserves at risk. This has been proven time and time again, not only by its ability to never refuse a redemption, but also in the absolute transparency of its reserves. While Tether's portfolio does include investment in Celsius representing a minimal part of its shareholders' equity, there is no correlation between this investment and Tether's own reserves or stability. The Tether loan that was taken out by Celsius was an over-collateralized loan denominated in Bitcoin. And the decision to liquidate the collateral to cover the loan was a part of the original terms of the agreement between the two entities and reconfirmed in writing before the start of the liquidation event. This process was carried out in a way to minimize as much as possible any impact on the markets, and in fact, once the loan was covered, Tether returned the remaining part to Celsius as per its agreement. Celsius' position has been liquidated with no losses to Tether. Tether has developed a set risk metrics and risk measurement processes which allow the investment and financial teams to evaluate the risk of any of the company's financial interactions. Tether's risk culture demonstrates an understanding of both the business of lending and takes into account the regulatory landscape in order to achieve and maintain its business objectives. Recent crypto market history has shown and should teach us that while the media, critics, and community were wrongly fixated on Tether, I agree, other lenders, including notable names in the space, were blatantly providing lending facilities with nearly zero collateral. I agree. This goes against the strict regulatory practice that the industry has set as a standard. Critics who make claims of Tether's inconsistencies clearly have no understanding of how lending, borrowing, and risk management work. And it's, they called it, they got out in time, and they managed that risk pretty good. It doesn't bode well for Celsius, obviously, but for the crypto market as a whole, especially if we take into account stable coins and their impact on the market, it's looking pretty good because Tether's the big dog, right? Tether's the number one. Going into more bullish news too. Kucoin, if you guys aren't familiar, is an exchange. I utilize it. I've utilized it to show you guys how to liquidate Ergo. Or ERG, the token for Ergo. And they have a ton of different cryptocurrencies available on their exchange that are not available a lot of other places. This is basically where you have to go in most cases if you're mining more obscure coins and tokens, etc. So I use them. I don't have an affiliate link for them or anything like that right now. Maybe I should have spun one up when we did, of course, the how-to. But we have a little bit of bullish news as far as Kucoin goes for their basically 2022 review. Pushing the limit is the theme of Kucoin in the first half of 2022. Despite the market downtrend, Kucoin has seen its trading volume exceeding $2 trillion, global user base exceeding 18 million, and employees exceeding 1,000. Thanks to the continuous growth, Kucoin secured a $150 million pre-Series B fundraising in May at a $10 billion valuation. And the new capital and partners will solidify our strategy to go beyond centralized exchange and expand into Web3. That is interesting. In this blog article, we will present the key figures about Kucoin's robust growth, highlighting the major milestones we have achieved with our global communities. So in the first half of 2022, Kucoin's trading volume, including spot and futures trading, has exceeded $2 trillion, an increase of 180% compared to the same period in 2021. We are breaking our highest daily volume record almost every quarter, and this May, the daily spot volume peaked at $11 billion, and the top daily futures volume was close to $23 billion. You can see the charts here. Looking at different markets, Europe outperformed others in terms of the speed of growth, achieving a total volume of $481 billion with 381% growth compared with the same period last year. In Latin America and Africa and the Middle East, a total volume of $453 billion and $392 billion have been achieved, and the growth rate is at 189% and 152% respectively. During the first half of 2022, Kucoin has gained approximately 9.7 million new registered users, a 219% increase from the first half of 2021. As an industry-leading global exchange, Kucoin now serves more than 18 million users worldwide. Specifically, the growth in Asia is the most significant, with about 5.6 million new registered users, a year-on-year increase of 659%. Newly registered users in Latin America, Africa, and the Middle East and Europe increased by 216%, 152%, and 142% respectively compared to the same period. With the rapid growth of Kucoin, we onboarded nearly 400 talents in the first half of 2022, bringing the total number of Kucoin staff to over 1,000 globally. We believe that the talent is key to remain competitive in the crypto space, and Kucoin will stick to our hiring plan while others are doing layoffs. Relatively, we have a more compact and productive team compared to most other platforms our size, which is why we still have room to expand our team. We have around 300 openings at present in R&D, research and development, marketing, business development, and more. If you're interested, they have job listings there, and you can check it out down below if you want to try to get in. As an exchange for, by, and of the people, the People's Exchange is developing a community where everyone can benefit from our growth and have their opinions heard. In 2022, H1, or half, here we go. The first half of 2022, the 23 Kucoin global communities in multiple languages break 1 million in total members, making it one of the largest communities in crypto. In 2022, Kucoin will continue to offer world-class customer support to our global users. In this period, we have handled over 500,000 customer inquiries via tickets and online chat. Also, more new tools were introduced to improve the support experience. For instance, the chat bot launched in April has helped over 20,000 users to solve their issues, and the launch of the new Kucoin Help Center also makes it easier for everyone to get support when it's needed. Here's some new products and features, new listings. As the top one altcoin exchange, Kucoin persistently brings hidden gems to the world before anyone else. In the first half of 2022, Kucoin has listed 137 crypto assets, bringing the number of tradable assets on Kucoin to over 700. It is worth noting that 31 out of the 137 tokens had their world premiere listing on Kucoin, including 5 projects on Kucoin Spotlight and 5 on Kucoin Burning Drop. Fiat trading pairs. For the first time, Kucoin starts to support fiat trading pairs. Currently, we have supported BRL and Euro against major coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDT. And more fiat pairs will continue. In February of 2022, Kucoin launched the isolated margin service to supplement its trading offerings. As of now, over 70 tokens have been supported in isolated margin trading, making the total margin pairs over 200. Find out more about margin trading there, blah, blah, blah. Convert function. A simple convert function is added to provide users the easiest way to trade with one click and 0 fees. In June of 2022, Kucoin introduced the one cancels the other OCO order type, a pair of orders combining a stop limit order and a limit maker order on the same side to better help investors implement their trading strategies. Now, this is the part I'm interested in, which is their dive into Web 3.0. Earlier this year, we claimed that Kucoin will explore more in Web 3.0. We are putting our thoughts into words and words into actions. Let's take a look at Kucoin's initiatives in Web 3.0 so far. Wonderland. Launched in 2022, Wonderland, a platform to launch gaming NFT, has completed the NFT sale for 4 projects. A total of 46,000 NFTs have been sold with over 1.5 million USDT in sales volume. That's not that exciting. Windvane, which is another Kucoin NFT marketplace, and then the Kucoin Wallet. So this one would be more interesting to me. Launched in June, Kucoin Wallet is a secure and easy to use crypto wallet that will support multiple chains. Over 3 million users have joined the public beta test of the wallet, and we believe it will be a gateway or getaway for millions to enter the Web 3.0 world. And then the Kucoin community chain, which is built by fans of KCS and Kucoin's fan communities, has also seen promising growth in the first half. 110 plus projects participated in the KCC Unicorn contest and 40 plus completed on-chain development. The number of KCC addresses exceeds 450,000 and the number of transfers on KCC exceeds 14.8 million. Currently, the KCC validator election is ongoing and both institutions and users can apply to become validators to share the gas fees on KCC. KCS, driven by the rapid growth of Kucoin and the KCC ecosystem, KCS adoption is on the rise. Currently, you can use KCS to join staking, liquidity mining, lending, and more. As a growing number of KCS is getting active on chain, more use cases can be expected to further drive the demand for KCS. I'd be very careful with this because this would be basically a portion of this would be centralized and you could end up in a position just like Celsius. So just be careful with that. So they have Kucoin Labs as the research investment and incubation arm of Kucoin. Kucoin Labs invested in 19 crypto native projects in the first half of 2022 and 4 industry leading crypto funds with a total investment of about 20 million. Among the categories, Kucoin Labs has led 7 projects covering GameFi, infrastructure, Web 3.0, and other fields. In terms of the industry research, Kucoin Labs produced 5 research reports covering Cosmos, ecology, metaverse, NFT pricing, fair launch, game guild development, etc. Though it started in late 2021, Kucoin Ventures is a rising star in the primary market. In 6 months, they have built connections with over 150 plus investment institutions and foundations and invested in over 30 blockchain companies after rigorous due diligence. Find the latest Kucoin Ventures portfolio below. So, this just keeps going forward and onwards. All of their improvements. What we really need to know, right, that's important, I think, is that during a bear market, paying attention to the exchanges that are surviving is good. Paying attention to exchanges that are thriving is better. And Kucoin being one that is thriving in the bear market means that your assets are probably going to be the safest when you're going through a liquidation process within that exchange. Once again, I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. But if I look at different exchanges and how they're doing in the bear market to decide on where I want to move my cryptocurrency to liquidate it and not risk as much of it being lost, then I would look at something like Kucoin and say, okay, it looks like they're going in the right direction, right? They're not getting rid of people, they're like a lot of others are. They're not losing a ton of capital or a ton of money. And they seem to be in a growth phase during a bear market, not a cut down phase. But that's not the same for everybody. Compass Mining cuts 15% of its staff and lowers executive compensation. The Bitcoin mining company said it's reassessing its priorities after growing too quickly. Compass Mining has let go of 15% of its employees and has cut executive compensation to ride out the crypto downturn. Compass also said it grew too quickly and needed to readdress its strategy moving forward. Given recent market downturn and anticipated future market conditions, we had to take a hard look at our spend and recalibrate for future of the business, co-founders and interim CEOs Thomas Heller and Paul Gosker said in a statement on Thursday. The Bitcoin mining hosting company had just over 80 employees, according to its LinkedIn profile as of late Thursday. In June, Compass's CEO and chief financial officer resigned amid setbacks and disappointments at the company. In addition to that, you guys should remember that they did shut down a facility or have a facility shut down due to apparently non-payment. And that is going to, I believe, be in some sort of lawsuit. But so we'll find out the results of that when that is revealed. Not your power, not your miner is kind of the new kind of key term that we've been using on the channel. I've seen it in the social media with you guys as well. And I think that holds true. Like these hosting facilities, unfortunately, they suffer the same risk of anything else that's centralized. And that inherent risk of centralization puts you in a position as an investor, as somebody participating with them, to potentially lose, your miner at that point. But I also get the flip side of that, which is power costs rising and it being kind of impossible for a lot of people to get into mining depending on their geographical location. So they want to utilize some sort of hosting option somewhere else. But maybe you just need to work with, friends, people within the community, and find out if somebody has spare power and wants to help you out. Somebody you at least know. Some way for you to have access to the rigs physically as well is going to be beneficial. I know that's hard to do, but that's the best thing that I can come up with for you there. GameStop CFO departs amid cut costing drive, Web3 pivot. So we talked about Web3 and GameStop yesterday. We were kind of hot on it, kind of bullish, but in a letter to employees, CEO Matt Furlong said the firm's focus has turned to eliminating excess costs and operating with an intense owner's mentality. GameStop Chief Financial Officer Mike Recupero, something like that, has departed the video game retailer amid a cost-cutting drive following a hiring spree in the last 18 months. He served as the firm's CFO since last June and will be replaced by Chief Accounting Officer Dana Jahe. In a letter to employees, CEO Matt Furlong said the firm's focus has turned to eliminating excess costs and operating with an intense owner's mentality. GameStop hired more than 600 people since the start of 2021, but the firm is now looking to reverse this headcount expansion in order to operate more efficiently. GME shares on the New York Stock Exchange are down 6% at 12,697 in the market at the time of writing. We might have to go look and see what that's actually at. $126.97, I believe, is where we're at for GME. That confused me with the comma there. The video game retailer has been making steps into Web3 over the last year, developing a digital asset wallet for storing crypto and non-fungible tokens ahead of its planned launch of an NFT marketplace later this year. The company reported proceeds of $76.9 million from digital asset sales in its latest quarterly results at the start of June. It remains to be seen to what extent the crypto bear market's onset will eat into this and if it will change GameStop's plan in this area. According to Furlong's letter, however, the company intends to develop new products within digital assets in Web3. It sounds like it's still going on to me. And they did not respond to CoinDesk. So there's obviously some structural issues going on there within GameStop. That being said, I don't see the Web3 pivot that they're claiming in the title here. So I'm going to call BS on that. I think we're still going to be seeing GameStop moving into that area and not necessarily pivoting in any meaningful way at this time. Why Ethereum Name Service is seeing a spike in domain registrations. The registrations came out on the back of a record-breaking ENS sale, a research firm pointed out. Ethereum Name Service registration spiked this week as prominent addresses sold for hundreds of Ether, sparking retail interest. ENS is a decentralized domain name protocol that runs atop the Ethereum network. It provides users with an easily readable name such as abc.eth instead of a complex long-form alphanumeric address for their crypto wallets, similar to the way domain name service or system substitutes memorable names such as coindesk.com for websites and numeric internet protocol addresses. Some ENS buyers treat the names as investments, purchasing popular and common names and selling them for a profit. Research firm Delphi Digital said in a note this week. Last week, 000.ETH was sold for a record 300 Ethereum, fueling interest in three-digit ENS names as traders tried to capitalize on the hype, Delphi Digital added. Daily ENS registrations also spiked, reaching over 30,000 new addresses on July 4th and over 20,000 on July 7th. This followed a lean period in late May and early June when registrations ranged between 3,000 and 5,000 a day. Some analysts noted that ENS addresses were among the most popular in liquid assets trading on NFT marketplace OpenSea. Quote, the interest we are seeing in ENS is partly driven by the fact that it's one of the very few pure true utility NFTs that are visible, widely known, liquid and traded on OpenSea, said Anderson McCutcheon, CEO of Chains in a Telegram message. The difference in value is also less subjective, as an address like Chains.eth is objectively more valuable than ASD1 ASDG3.eth, he said. The fundamentals and value that ENS addresses are far more certain than any other opportunities for retail crypto investors. Jeff May, Chief Marketing Officer at ChainUp, said the uptick in shorter domain name registrations could be linked to NFT investors preferring the shorter tags due to a presumably higher value. Other market observers said lower Ether and gas prices also incentivize market participants to purchase and trade ENS addresses. ETH gas prices are lower during this bear market environment, said Jisoo Park, founder at Suho. There we go. This poses the perfect opportunity for investors to register ENS domains at scale, as the primary cost of doing so is the ETH gas fee. As the gas fee is decreased significantly, investors are highly incentivized to claim and trade ENS domains during this window, Park said. This isn't dissimilar to what was happening with traditional domain names and people purchasing them and then selling them for more money to companies in the past. So this is a really interesting one. I think it does have a lot of merit to it. If you guys would like a guide on purchasing ENS names and everything, let me know in the comment section below and in the live chat. In fact, I'll do a poll, ENS guide. There we go. And we'll do a poll. And if you guys want one, I'll get to work on one this weekend. So we're going to move into mining profitability for the day. Before we get into that, let's go ahead and run the ad one more time. And I'm going to drink some water while we wait. Today's sponsor is Crypto.com. Crypto.com is my go-to centralized exchange for liquidating my crypto assets. With their Crypto.com Visa debit card, I can load up my mined Ethereum to pay for power and other operating costs quickly while earning up to 8% cash back. In addition to the Visa debit card, there are additional fiat options, including wire transfers, to easily receive your profits. Crypto.com also offers additional services, including trading and even staking, to earn additional revenue on your investments. Join 10 million plus users buying and selling 100 plus cryptocurrencies at true cost by using my affiliate link in the description for a $25 funding bonus. Or enter referral code SOAT at sign up for the same bonus. Remember, cryptocurrency investment comes with significant risks, so do your own research. Welcome back, everybody. So I'm actually having a little bit of a hard time determining how much we actually made in the past day on Crazypool. It looks bad, but I can't really actually get a good idea. And that's because we ended up we've gotten a weird set of payouts. But yesterday, you can see here, it looks like we did like 0.045, but then we had an early payout today for some reason on the 8th as well. And then I was trying to figure out, so you can see here on the 6th, it was $77. On the 7th, it was $56. And on the 8th, we've done $22 so far. But I don't know if this is just left over. Remember that we had some weirdness with their payout system not too long ago, which ended up stacking for like 3 days, I think it was, right? 7-4, 7. But then it's, okay, so it's showing this correct, which would mean we had a pretty poor day yesterday at $56 on Crazypool. I think. But we had like 2 really good days on the 5th and the 6th, right? So it's kind of odd, but at this point, that's pretty much where it's at. $56 for the day is what I can say. Apparently today we've done 22 so far, which would make not too much sense because of the payout time on the 7th. Other than that, the Neta pool or the Neta profitability has been extremely low as well. I think yesterday we only did 1,000 Neta. So there you go. So 1,000 Neta is really not going to net much. That's like $5.73. So even though the difficulty dropped pretty significantly, we are not getting a ton. Well, it says 0 workers are online. Okay. All right. We obviously have issues going on with our hive farm here. Well, that makes sense. I wonder when these went down. I checked last night before I hopped off. It says that I'm mining. And it says that we're on Erg. Let me look at this again real quick. Let's look again. So, yeah, it shows 0 hash rate, but something's going on because we have them online. So I'll get with GetBlock and see what's going on, guys. We're showing 0 hash rate on the actual pool. And I gotta dig into it. GetBlock is having UI issues again. That makes sense. Well, there you go. As far as GetBlock goes, it shows that I'm still mining. Don't know what profitability is. Let's take a look at WhatToMine though and get these calculations going. If we look at WhatToMine, we'll correct the ZIL hash to 110. We'll correct the Kapal to 60. ProgPal to 60 and Firo proof of work to 60. We'll be at 10 cents a kilowatt hour and calculate that out to get an idea of what's going on. Look at this though. Neoxa is now on WhatToMine. It's at the top. It's at the top of WhatToMine. What? What in the ever-living heck is going on? I'd be careful with this one, boys. Let's go ahead and see what happened. Now that there is a WhatToMine listing, we'd be in trouble. This is going to pump. It's going to pump. Are we starting the pump yet? Have we started the pump? Sorta. It's barely creeping along. It's getting a little crazy. If you guys want a how-to on mining it, don't worry. I got your back. We've got that up on the channel. So I'll get that linked to you guys right now. So, boom, here's the video. You guys can get in and start mining it. Go ahead and shoot that on over to you guys. Bam. Now, it does run extremely hot. We talk about it in the video as well, so be careful with that one. But anyways, on WhatToMine, it's showing at $2.72 a day in revenue and $1.92 a day after power. You do have limited liquidation options, just to be clear. Ethereum is at $2.25 a day in revenue and $1.49 a day after power. Ravencoin is at $2.14 a day in revenue and $1.34 a day after power. Cero at $1.96 a day in revenue and $1.17 a day after power. Conflux $1.84 a day in revenue and $1.05 a day after power. Firo $1.77 a day in revenue and $1.03 a day after power. Z Classic at $1.75 a day in revenue and $1.05 a day after power. Xano at $1.74 a day in revenue and 95 cents a day after power. Flux at $1.62 a day in revenue and 92 cents a day after power. You can get over $1 a day on ZEL hash through NiceHash though. Still at $1.81 a day in revenue, $1.12 a day after power. Ergo's dropped down pretty hardcore to $1.48 a day in revenue and 85 cents a day after power. Ethereum Classic $1.50 a day in revenue and 73 cents a day after power. And Cortex $1.53 a day in revenue and 89 cents a day after power. Yeah, I'll start mining Neoxa in the winter. I see that in chat. I feel you. I don't think that I'm going to be able to go throw kapow on there right now in this Texas heat. It's just not going to happen. Let's look at some hash rates outside of Neoxa. We'll start with Bitcoin per usual. And it is down to 217 exahash a second. With that price bump, it's pretty nice if you're mining right now because you got a little bit of low difficulty because it hasn't responded too much to the price, and you got a 14% bump in Bitcoin over the last week, and it's pretty much as far as the year goes at its lowest difficulty. That's not too shabby. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum's at 937 terahash a second. It has been increasing on the network. That's up, well over that 900 terahash. Ethereum Classic at 22.94 terahash a second. Let's take a look at Ravencoin. Ravencoin is at 2.5 terahash a second. I'm going to check Neoxa again. 2.5 terahash a second. 77 gigahash a second. It'll be interesting to see if those Ravencoin miners start popping over to Neoxa. That would be really interesting. I wanted to double check that. Flux, let's take a look. Expecting 1.3. Oh, we're down. It's down to 1.16 megasleuths a second on Flux. And Ergo. Ergo's difficulty continues to drop. It's at 11.18 terahash a second. It did not follow the rest of the market in price. Interestingly enough, everything else went up about 10% and Ergo did not. It remained pretty much exactly where it was at. So that kind of explains that profitability. Mining pool profitability on Ethereum for the past 90 days, Crazypool in first, Ethermine in second, F2 pool in third. Last 60 days, Crazypool in first, Ethermine in second, or ZET in second, Ethermine in third. Last 30 days, ZET in first, Crazypool in second, Ethermine in third. Last 21 days, Crazypool in first, ZET in second, Ethermine in third. Last 14 days, Crazypool in first, Mining Pool Hub in second, F2 pool in third. Last 7 days, Nano Pool in first, F2 Pool in second, Hive on Pool in third. Last 3 days, Nano Pool in first, Mining Pool Hub in second, F2 Pool in third. Crazypool way down here in last place. Obviously been feeling that on my end. And then the last day, Mining Pool Hub in first, Crux Pool in second, Nano Pool in third. I feel like that means that Crazypool's about to hit a nice cycle of blocks. That's what I'm feeling. Get that luck going. Building that luck. Building that luck. That's what I would hope. That's what I got to tell myself, guys, because we had a really, really, really bad day yesterday. All right. ASIC miners, though, the L7 is still in first place. It keeps moving up. It's at $25 a day, which is pretty incredible. The KD6, though, is not recovering as much at $16.78 a day. I think it was at $15 yesterday. The KD5 at $10. Breaking over that $10 mark. The D7 at $10 as well. Go down to the S19 Pro, and we're looking at $4.37 a day, which is actually down a little bit compared to yesterday. And that's because yesterday it was up because Digibyte was up on profitability. So that's really the reasoning behind that. As far as sales go, nothing really new right now. You can purchase the E9 through BT miners for $11,900. Yes, that's more expensive than if you went through the Bitmain website themselves, but keep in mind that these are already, as far as the United States and the UK, they're in stock there. So your shipping fees and your tariffs are already covered in that $11,900 price point. So, if you go compare it, you'll end up, I think, paying less right now on BT miners than you would on Bitmain. And that'll depend on your geographical location. So check it and make sure, just to be clear. S19 Pro, 110 terahash is still around that 4650. And we did a full analysis kind of playing around with this the other day on locals. So if you guys want to take a look at the locals exclusive videos, you can do that as well. So there you go. Let's get into questions and answers. Remember, super chats are never required, always appreciated. First to be read. Tagging @SonOfATech in the message will make it easier for me to read. So make sure you do that at the beginning. And as well as all of that, super chat or super stickers are the best for the algorithm, so they help boost the channel. 66% of you want an ENS guide, 34% of you do not. It looks like we will probably do a guide then, and then if you don't want it, you can pass on it. Fun Dumb says, @SonOfATech, Aneta Angel NFT, possible higher returns. Yes, so on phase 3 of Aneta, what's going to happen is people that are holding an NFT, the Angel NFTs from Neta, will get additional bonus rewards in their Neta payouts. That is what has been basically talked about by both GetBlock and Neta. So if you are wanting to get one of those Angels early on, you can do that on the Ergo auction house, I believe. Let me go pull that up here real quick. Ergo auction house. See what they're running at. I don't know if they're up there yet. I haven't listed any of mine. It's still connecting. We'll wrap up back to that if we see anything. So it's just called Aneta. That makes sense. Aneta. I think to mint one, it was $22. It was like 10 ERG. Or I think it was 22 ERG. So right now, it looks like you can bid on 2 separate ones. There's a day left on this one. And the bid is at 25 ERG with no bids yet. And the bid on this one is 32 ERG with a buyout for 150 ERG. So if you guys want to go bid, this would probably be the one that makes the most sense. I think these will, this is a weird one. So I don't usually talk about NFTs. This one is weird because this one has the potential to increase your mining profitability and your mining revenue. So I mean, we don't know what that's going to be yet, right? I know that minting it was 22 Ergo. It was like $40. It's the most expensive NFT I've ever minted. So I have one, right? In my owned. We'll pull this up over here. So I'll let you guys know, at least I have one to test it with. I am considering buying additional ones so that we have a giveaway of some sort, but we'll talk about that at a later date when we have more ideas on what exactly is happening. But this NFT is really interesting because it does have that potential to increase your revenue on Ergo and Aneta. Aggieland Tutoring says, @SonOfATech, any advice on the best liquidating process for Neoxa? Still have to watch your How to Mine Neoxa video, and maybe you can cover it there. I believe it was Trade Ogre, but let's go ahead and take a look at CoinMarketCap. I don't know if it's on CoinMarketCap yet, is it? No, it's not. Where is it at then? Where did we find it last time? I think we found it on... Do you guys remember? I know I talked about it in the video, but I thought it was... Here, we can just do this. Trade Ogre. Yeah, so Neoxa has a pairing on Trade Ogre for Litecoin, a pairing with Litecoin, and it's up 66% right now. So that's a huge pump up in its price here recently. So that's where I would trade it personally, plus non-KYC. Detroit Iris says, Asymptotic BT miners has price matched in the past, and the V1 Mini Classic Plus on sale for $999. Thanks for the info. Max Barbell says, Asymptotic on the E9, can it do anything other than Ethereum Classic after the merge? Potentially, like, what, Ubique? Right, so... And I'm not positive on that. I know that the firmware allows them to go to Ethereum Classic, but you'll be stuck in ET hash coins, right? So, whatever, it's 2,400, 2,500 we'll put in. That would put you at, Ethereum at 46. You got Ethereum Classic at 30 a day. There's some other small ones, ETHO, Ubique, etc. So, yes. The answer is yes. Ubique would be the only other one that I would look at, though, personally. Forever Metalhead said, YouTube did not notify me on the live. Make sure that notification bell is hit so you get notified when I do go live. And then you can also follow me on Twitter. I always tweet out before the stream. And it's every day, 9:45 a.m. Central Time. It is going to be what it is with the YouTube algorithm. Josh Clements says, Asymptotic looking to expand my mining capacity. Is it too early or should I wait until new gen cards come out? What cards on the used market should you look for? Thanks, man. So we were talking about this actually last night on the live stream on twitch.tv/blindrun. So you can always like get more in depth like content there because like I'll just be chit chatting or whatever. If you're just wanting to like get my opinion on everything. When we were browsing everything, really like what looks amazing is the 3060 Ti Founders Editions brand new. Because you can pick up a 3060 Ti Founders Edition brand new for like $399, and it was for sale on Best Buy yesterday. It's sold out now because we talked about it. But they are really interesting. So if you are looking, all right, so there are like, I think 3 cards on the NVIDIA lineup that the Founders Edition are non-light hash rate and cheaper, right? So that's the 3060 Ti, the 3070, and the 3080. All 3 of those are really good options. As far as waiting for the new cards, the new cards are not looking to be huge improvements on mining in particular because they are going with L2 cache and increasing cache in general, Infinity Cache for AMD, just L2 cache for NVIDIA, and they are not increasing bus size and they are not really increasing bandwidth over the previous generation. So at the top end, you're still looking at a 4090 getting the same memory hash rate, as the 3090. The only outlying case there is going to be their performance on core intensive algorithms, such as something like Ravencoin or Flux, which we will not know those numbers until we have those cards in hand. And that is kind of the question that we're waiting for on the new line of cards. But the new line of cards also are going to be a lot more power hungry, and that's important to take into note, especially on the NVIDIA side with the Ada Lovelace. It is going to require an upgrade to your power supply. So all your old power supplies are not really going to be advised to use because you'll need the new ATX 3.0 standard. And so your investment is going to be a lot higher, right? So that's kind of like really where it sits at, and you want to be a little bit more careful than that. A little bit careful with the new cards. So that's kind of what I've been looking at as far as like the markets and where we're sitting at. You can start picking up, like I think the 3070 Founders Edition was in stock on Best Buy. Let me double check it again. I think there's a line now. But there are still 3070 founder editions in stock at Best Buy for $4.99. You know, you're talking about under a year ROI on Ethereum. So it's not bad, right? There are good options out there. Retro Mike says Ubique is now UB Cash. Thank you. It's different from ETH Hash. So you need a firmware update, but theoretically UB Cash could still work, right? But nobody's going to do a firmware for those for the ASICs. I doubt it. Wyatt says, sorry if you've covered this earlier, you just joined in. Do you think this recent rise within the markets is a dead cat bounce? I just tend to, like I said at the beginning of the stream, because we talked about it right at the beginning, but I'll clarify once again. As far as my strategy goes, I'm planning on the same cyclical nature of the halving, which means that I'm planning on this always just bouncing between 18,000 and 22,000 for the foreseeable future until 2024 at the earliest, more than likely probably like 2025, end of 2024. And then we'll start to see a recovery due to the halving, and we'll just go through the same round as always. My predictions, if you guys want them and not financial advice, is we will see in 2025 a Bitcoin price, or between 2025 and 2026, we'll see a Bitcoin price go up to a peak of 210,000. And then around 2027 to 2028, we'll see it come back down to 60 to 70,000. As far as ETH pricing, I really don't know how moving proof of stake, how the move to proof of stake is going to affect its price. It does have a threat to really hurt Ethereum. So I don't have any predictions on Ethereum at all, but the overall market for Bitcoin, that's what I would assume. Daniel Hall said, Tech, thank you for the latency info. Switched pools and went from 238 milliseconds to 43 milliseconds. Perfect, man. XDX says, Tech, how low do you think Bitcoin and ETH go before the next bull run? I think, like I've said before, I think we always sit around this $21,000 mark. Previous all-time high is the new one, but yeah. Forever Metalhead says, Tech, the bell is always on. Mate, you've muted Twitter because lately crypto Twitter has gone nuts and you can't work with that many distractions. Gotcha. Well, I got it on locals too. Yeah. We post it everywhere. I can't control, YouTube's algorithm, what they decide to do with the channel. Obviously something was up with today's stream though, because, I think this is the lowest amount of viewers we've had probably this year so far. I don't know if I clicked the wrong button or something. If there's something else that I needed to do. But yeah. Anyways, you got here and you can rewatch it. Black Cat says, Tech, do you think miners will stick with 20 and 30 series cards when the 40 series launches? I will. I'm almost positive I will. The only thing I would move to is probably the 7000 series top end model with their new increase in bus width. That is a potential. Detroit Iris says, Tech 3070 FE live on Best Buy. Yep, that's what I was talking about. Retro Mike says, Tech UB Cash is only available in Ubique Miner and Phoenix Miner now. Not even in T-Rex or Team Red Miner. So not sure if it's difficult or just not worth it to the devs. That's interesting. Okay. I wonder how the profitability is on it. I need to do an updated how to mine it video then too. Patrick Guillen says, Tech, it's a good mindset to consider everything as a dead cat bounce in my humble opinion due to all markets in overall decline. I don't consider cryptocurrency to be part of all the markets. So what we saw was a convenient timing of the traditional halving cycle with Bitcoin coincide with the rest of the markets going down. That's what we saw at the end of the day. This price, back in September of 2020, this is the price that I called it would be at this time, which would be like 21,000. It's cyclical and like disgustingly predictable, which is kind of funny. So that's kind of the one thing about the nature of cryptocurrency that is very odd. But as we go over the past, 12 years or whatnot, it's been the same, or 14 years now at this point. I guess I say 12 years because of the halving cycle. Anyways, it's just kind of, it's kind of crazy that it is that. So I would not expect it to go anywhere right now as far as pricing. I thought for a little while, you know, early on in this last bull run, or even in this last like bear market, this last cycle, that maybe we were breaking out of it, but then I was wrong. It was just time different. So the actual perfection timing was off, right? Like you're never going to be able to time it perfectly, but the general cycle is the same. Clyde Saunders says, Ask Simon Tech, keep up the hard work. Your efforts are seen and appreciated. Thank you, good sir. Yeah, it sounds like no notifications went out at all. So that kind of is a bummer because it did hurt the viewership, but that's okay. We move on and we keep grinding. That's it. That's all we can do. I got about 3 minutes for questions and answers, so get the questions out if you want them. And then tonight we'll be streaming on twitch.tv/blindrun. I'll put the link in chat for you guys. And I may go to jiu-jitsu, and then I got the family tickets to go watch Thor. So I'm really excited to go watch Thor with the family at 4 o'clock. Then once I'm done with that, I get home, kind of wrap up with the kids. I don't think I'm going to get to a video today. I did get a really nice new, what is this? I finally got a US, I always am moving stuff. So I upgraded to a USB-C card reader to move my files over faster from the SD card. I'm trying to get everything. I'm going to be reworking and rebuilding my main rig too. So I don't know if I'll probably do a video on that if you guys are interested, but that might go on the other channel. Thanks for the 99-cent super chat sticker. Retro Mike says that, yeah, I was listening to the ETH Core dev meeting before I started the show. Not too much information really that I found out of it. Scott says, Ask Simon Tech, I literally got notified 5 minutes ago. Dang, bro. Daniel Ring says, no notifications, but Locals got you. Cool. Make sure you guys are members on Locals. It's free to be a member on Locals, so the notifications will go there for all the videos. Amigos PC says, I need that shirt though. Yeah, it's on the BC Vault website. We've linked it before. I don't get any kickback though. Dragon Audio says, that's Simon Tech playing any Rust. No, I've been playing a game called The Cycle Frontier. Now, a very kind viewer wanted to play Escape from Tarkov with me yesterday, so he sent me money to purchase Escape from Tarkov. So I'm actually going to go make that purchase probably in between, and we'll be playing Escape from Tarkov probably for the first time since Alpha. So I haven't played Escape from Tarkov since probably how many years has it been in development now? Since the very, very beginning. So I'm kind of excited to go hop in and try that out. If you want to party up or whatever, come and hit me up. We're going to be doing it. PC Space Race says, at Simon Tech, I got the notification on the great hash rate migration. Yep. So I'm trying to post in everywhere that it goes. You could also join that Discord if you like as well. Clyde Saunders, thanks for the $3 super chat sticker. Gandalf Gray says, at Simon Tech, I keep hearing that there are 3070s at Best Buy. The website says locally available. However, my local Best Buy doesn't actually have any of them. I can order them online. You have to usually wait in line. Also, we just talked about on the show last night, the same thing happened even on Twitch. As soon as I talked about it, there was a line for it online. So maybe they're already out of stock. I don't know. There's only like 200 of y'all in here, but y'all are the ones that are going to go out and, start hitting the buy button on those kind of deals, and for good reason, because, I think that 3070 is a pretty good price. I think the 3060 Ti Founders Edition would be my preferred, personally. Now, the argument is that you will get, on the 3070, you will get a better flex hash rate and a better like prog pow and kapow hash rates as well, like core heavy hash rates. So I think there's an argument for overall the 3070, but like for like getting your card paid off as quickly as possible, I mean, 3060 Ti is a pretty good deal if you can get them. Village BC says, Ask Tech, do you think ASIC mining, Bitcoin, Litecoin, other will hold up better than GPU mining after ETH goes proof of stake and dies? So ASIC mining will always be around in the form of Bitcoin. I think that the margins though on Bitcoin mining are very difficult. And I think that the other thing that you have to worry about with that is that we have Samsung and Intel entering the space. Other than that, if I look at Dogecoin, I think that or script miners in general, I think that we will not see a new script miner until post next bull run, because that's what happened with the L3 Plus and the L7. So the L3 Pluses were extremely profitable this past bull run, and you could get them extremely cheap during the bear market. So sitting and waiting on L7s coming down in price is kind of what I'm looking at from an ASIC perspective personally. Now, not financial advice, etc. That's just what I would be looking at personally. As far as like GPU mining goes, I think that like there's going to be pain, obviously. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, right? Like we see that there's not as many coins going around, but you do have the potential on GPU mining to really get in early on a lot of projects. And that's really where the big benefit comes from. Colton says, Ask Tech, is $499 for a 3070 a good deal? It seems like they're cheaper on eBay right now. So specifically, we're talking about a couple different things, right? So $499 for a Founders Edition that is non-light hash rate, right? So, if you went to eBay, and I don't know, like if I went to eBay and looked for like non-light hash rate 3070s, let's see. I'm not seeing huge discounts on pricing. They're like $450. 385 has some bids, but non-light hash rates, no. Like $499 is a good price on them. Especially you're getting a Founders Edition. You're getting it from Best Buy, so you have the protection if you want the Best Buy protection. You also will get your full warranty, and it's brand new. And it's non-light hash rate. So yeah, like I would prefer buying a 3070 Founders Edition brand new for $499 than buying a used one for $450 off of eBay. Plus you're getting the premium cooler from NVIDIA there. LHR does mean something, Gabe. It means a lot. Sebs did the review on the amount of shares you get. You get much more shares on a non-light hash rate GPU. And that also affects Ergo as well. So you also have that post ETH concern as well still too. And it's to the effect of pretty significant, because you're not locking and relocking. Like when you are using the 100% light hash rate unlock, you are basically having little pauses in your mining happening all the time. So you're getting less shares. So you are in fact less profitable on a non-light hash rate versus a light hash rate still. Kurt says, Ask Simon Tech, who is a good person to watch and learn from regarding smart contracts, as I'm keen on develop Sims? It would be DAP University on YouTube. I'll get his link. Oh, Error, try again. What do you mean error, try again? There you go. Let's see. So, Detroit Irish says, ask if is there a way to make categories channels on locals so that all the posts aren't buried and maybe easier to find posts? It's a good question. I'll see what I can do as far as all of that goes. I'm going to wrap it up today. I'm going to get to jiu-jitsu. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Hit the like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell down below. I'll see you guys next Tuesday.